What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P here with another episode of Steelers Touch Down Under. We are previewing the 5 keys to victory for the Steelers versus Philadelphia Eagles in just a matter of hours' time. Going to be an awesome game. 11-2 Eagles in Philly versus our Pittsburgh Steelers, 10-3. Steelers just got to get this win in Philly. It's been too long, 30 plus years. It's just got to happen. This team could be in a really good position to do it, but it is going to be a difficult game. Injury report. That's one of the things I like doing now. We're doing these keys to victory right before games. Keys to victory is always going to be affected by how the injuries are set up. George Pickens ruled out, as most people know. Sean Elliott ruled out. That is huge for the Steelers and their defense. However, it does make sense heading into the three games in 10-day period. It makes sense heading into a Ravens game. It makes sense then again going and having obviously the game against the Kansas City Chiefs as well. So he is a vital cog in the wheel to that. So makes all the sense in the world. The other one as well that is out is Larry Ogunjobi. I had heard some interesting rumblings over the last couple of days around Connor Haywood. But right now, if you look at the out status, these are the only 3 guys out. On the Philadelphia Eagles side, it's 2 wide receivers. It's Britton Covey and Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson, the big wide receiver from the draft this year. Johnny Wilson's questionable. Covey is out again. This is all based on Friday practices. You never know what's going to happen in the meantime. All right, let's start talking about the keys to victory and what is a very level matchup, because if you actually look at the rankings so far this season, home record 5-1 for Pittsburgh, 5-1 for Philadelphia. 5-2 away record for Pittsburgh, 6-1 Philadelphia. So you sort of say advantage Philadelphia. They have won one more game than the Steelers this season as well. But as we talk about through the 5 keys to victories, things are actually very level. Like things like passing yards per game, the Steelers are better than the Philadelphia. But rushing yards, Philadelphia is actually first in the league versus the Steelers, who are 9th in the league with 132 yards. Anyway, with that being in mind, that previewing a little bit, let's get into the actual 5 keys to victory. All right, the first one is run, baby, run. The Steelers have to run the football. The Steelers have to run with Najee. They have to run with Jaylen Warren. That is going to be the key to victory in this game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Run the ball. The longer the Steelers hold the ball, the less time Hurts and Saquon Barkley have to do damage. Same with A.J. Brown on that side as well. I've got him in fantasy. He's a great player. Even though he's had there's a lot of this side talk with him and Jalen Hurts and all the rest of it. A.J. Brown's a godfather to Jalen Hurts' kid, right? So they're still going to be potent. The Steelers have to run the ball. So run, baby, run. I don't think it's any more difficult than that. It's just run the damn football. You run it, so Saquon isn't running out at you. 2, taketh awayeth. You're playing away, take the football away. Right? The Steelers are first in the league with a 17-plus differential on takeaways. They cannot afford to commit turnovers, and they must actually secure some turnovers. Now, the good news is Philadelphia is 9th in the league at only 4. So, advantage Steelers there in terms of the Steelers either giving up the ball or the Steelers being able to take the ball away. The Steelers must take the football away. They've got to take possessions away from Philadelphia to put them under pressure. Then you, by running the football, run baby run, you start to create, that dial up the pressure. You put them make the situation where Jalen Hurts is forced to make mistakes. 3, pass the mark. What do I mean by that? Well, the Steelers have to get past their rankings right now. Example, the Steelers average at the moment, believe it or not, 24.8 points per game. Very much better than where they were sitting at the start of the season. Philadelphia is 26.3. Philadelphia is 8th. The Steelers are 10th. The Steelers need to score more points, obviously, to win the game than Philadelphia. So this is one of those marks they have to pass. Points per game allowed. The Steelers are 5th in the league, allowing 18.3. Philadelphia are 2nd in the league, allowing 18. Again, this is an area the Steelers actually have to pass that mark to get the victory. Run yards per game. I've said run, baby, run. Philadelphia averaging 180 yards per game. I think I heard during the week 145 yards per game for Saquon. It might have been total scrimmage. But the point being, the Steelers average 132 rush yards per game with Harris and with Jalen Warren. And the Steelers are 9th in the league. That's another pass mark they're going to have to. So there are 3 marks of pass or passes that they're going to have to exceed to put Philadelphia under pressure. Guess what's going to be on my next list? 3rd down. That's right. I talk about it every single week. 3rd down. Is the Steelers don't get that golden 45% mark. They just don't. But 39.4% average this year. They're 12th in the league so far. They have to convert on 3rd down to put that pressure on Jalen Hurts and to put that pressure on Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown and to continue that keeping the Philadelphia defense guessing. This is important. They need 43% plus is the mark you're looking for in this game. 45%, the odds go up a victory substantially. Under 40%, I think it's going to be hard to win the football game in Philadelphia if they're not converting their 3rd downs. And this was a big, big problem last time they played in Philadelphia. What was it now? Almost 2 seasons ago. This has got to be better than this. So yeah, this just that can't be it. That's the point. Number 5, sack full of Hurts. What does that mean? Pretty self-explanatory. Make Hurts have a hurtful day. Sack him a bunch. Jalen Hurts is actually been sacked 35 times this year. 35 times. And so the Steelers need to keep that up. They need to keep that rolling pressure. They need to make sure they're getting to him all day long. That is vital because then you can put Jalen Hurts under pressure. You can also make sure the passing game shuts down, and you can make them one-dimensional with Saquon Barkley. And that's what they want to do. They want to be able to shut it down and make it one-dimensional. Obviously, they're going to have a game plan for Saquon. So if you can shut down everything else, then that's going to help you actually load the box. It's going to help Jalen Hurts force Saquon, force the ball to Saquon. It's also going to force Saquon to think that he's got to make certain plays. And that is where you're going to put this team under absolute pressure. Absolute pressure. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Nick Herbig, Highsmith. It's a sack each for them. If each of them gets a sack, hopefully some of them get more than that. This is going to be a good day for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They could get that victory in Philadelphia finally. But if they can't get to the quarterback, they're going to have a problem. And this is one of those stats that by toward the end of the game, or at least if you look at in the second half, is going to be super critical for working out for the prospects of which team are in going into it. Sacking Hurts is so important to force him under pressure. Absolutely crucial. And at 35 sacks, he's been now sacked 9.72% of his passing attempts. That's huge, right? The Steelers got to use those sorts of things to be able to capitalize and to be able to beat this Philadelphia team in Philadelphia. But that's my take on the 5 keys to victory. You let me know in the comments, what are your keys to victory? Can the Steelers do this? Can the Steelers get more than 40% on 3rd down? Can they get to Jalen Hurts? And can they run the football? That is going to be absolutely key. I'm Matty P. As always, go Steelers.